Thanks again for staying here on Joy News today. We'll cross over now to Parliament, where Major Derek Oduro, Deputy Minister Designate for Defence, is before Parliament's Appointments Committee.
Record that you correct whatever one of them is wrong. So
let's take the 2001 to 2002 at Staff College, and then the operational requirement or operational the operation in the Sierra Leone to be corrected in due course.
Not due course. I'll get it before I'll put the report before the plenary. If I don't get that one, I'll not put your report before the plenary. So make sure you get it for me before we write the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I take it that you were in the military and you were pursuing some courses like the Diploma in Public Finance, Institute of Accountancy Training, 93-94. I assume that during that period you were also in the military, because indeed the 92-93 you were in Liberia, UN peacekeeping operations in Liberia. The 93-94 you were doing Diploma in Public Finance, Institute of Accountancy Training in Accra. So we may have to look at those days too. Probably, Mr. Chairman, he would have to look at the years regarding the educational background and employment history.
If he provided the months, it may show that maybe immediately he returned from the school. So please, the dates, we want them to be properly synchronized before we will be able to write a report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Any more? Yes, Honorable Amir.
Mr. Chairman, on page 1 of the CV, the nominee indicates languages spoken. I want to find out from him whether he writes the same languages as well. Because
yes, Mr. Chairman, I write and then I speak both Twi and English.
Any more questions on the CV?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, on page 2, the first table, educational background, Armed Forces School of Education, Teshie, Accra, 86 to 87, GCE A-level. Armed Forces School of Education, Teshie, Accra, 1986-87, GCE O-level. Did you take O-level and A-level at the same time?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, at the same period. A-level was different from the O-level, and we did it not at the same day, but it's within the same period, at the same school.
Honorable, please. In which specific year did you write your O-level, and in which specific year did you write your A-level?
Mr. Chairman, the O-level was written first, and within that period downwards, I wrote the A-levels.
Okay, just for the avoidance, I want to see your O-level certificate and A-level certificate for clarification. So kindly submit that also for our records.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will do so.
Mr. Chairman, some few corrections with respect to dates. On page 3, leadership positions held. Agric Committee, 7th January 2009 to 6th January 2013, not 2012. Business Committee, 7th January 2012 till date. I think it should be probably 2013, because the term of Parliament.
Well, that's Parliament's Appointments Committee addressing some issues they have with Major Derek Odro's CV there. He's been vetted for the position of Deputy Defence Minister. We'll take you back to Parliament's Appointment Committee for proceedings. But away from that, a family physician and the medical director of the La General Hospital, Dr. Odro Mensah, has warned academic institutions in the Ashanti region to be on the lookout for more cases of meningitis. His comment comes after the outbreak of the disease at the Kumasi Academy. 4 students have died in a space of 3 weeks, and the Ghana Health Service has said that there were some other cases in the school. The service says it has intensified processes to identify more cases of pneumococcal meningitis there. But as the service does its work, Dr. Mensah says more needs to be done to save others from contracting the disease.
Moving on, it's up to other institutions to also, institutions to also identify that potentially these things could be coming to their facility or into their health facilities and even the schools. You know, as students go home and come in, you never know what they are coming back in with. So keep an eye on your students as they go home for healthcare. Don't just write a check and let the person go home. Follow up and find out what the situation is, what conditions they were diagnosed with. It will help you put in interventions in the school early to prevent further spread.
Speaking of that, Doc, you know, in certain schools, it's really difficult to get an exit sometimes when you're not well, and school authorities sometimes you say go to the infirmary, but some of these infirmaries do not have what it takes to identify some of these things. In terms of not granting students permission to access healthcare outside the schools, what would your advice be to senior high schools and other institutions where children are kept?
I think health care is a basic need. For most institutions, yes, they have an infirmary, usually manned by a nurse. Very few have doctors there. I believe that if you don't see improvement in the ward's condition within maximum 48 hours. Do not insist. I was a victim when I was younger, and I remember I had to leave school without an exit because I wasn't happy with the treatment I was receiving.
And we know this, the last case in Kumaka, the guy had to break bounds. He didn't have an exit. So I think some of these things should also be dealt with.
Yes, maybe the school authority should have a meeting and look at the issue of exits again. You know, either you contact the nearest government health facility and seek care for your wards if you think your school cannot handle it, but do not insist, because when something happens to that ward, there will be a lot to pay.
So Dr. Odro Mensah spoke to me earlier on News Desk. Meanwhile, the funeral service for 3 of the students who died from pneumococcal meningitis is currently underway at the school premises. Parents, teachers and students became alarmed after reports about the mysterious deaths made the airwaves. Health professionals in the region later came out with autopsy reports revealing the cause of death as pneumococcal meningitis. The regional minister has since urged all to remain calm as stringent measures are taken to contain the outbreak. Let's go live to my colleague Emmanuel Kwesi Deborah in Kumasi with the latest on the funeral ceremony underway. Hello, Kwesi, what can you report now?
Yeah, Ben, as Marcy rightly said, the funeral of the 3 deceased that took place today, one at Asawase, one at Mokwenso, and also the one taking place at we are at Asawase, where the funeral of Benjamin Okubu, age 18, is taking place. And we have the mother here. We're going to speak to her. Mama, the mother is called Epiapma. So we're going to speak to Mama. So now,
hello, Kwesi Deborah. If you can hear me, we are struggling.
Yes, then I can hear you.
Yes, could you please speak up a bit?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm speaking with the mother. We're going to talk to the mother.
Okay.
Yes, the Epiapma. So, Mama, then I would say what's again.
Hello, Kwesi. We are struggling to hear the mother of the student. Yes, Kwesi Deborah, we can hear you all right, but we're struggling to hear the woman you're speaking to.
She's a bit of a soft smoker. That's why it's not here right now.
All right.
I guess let me tell you what she has been telling me. She said she was somewhere and she heard of the demise of the child. So she came over. But what she was told is that before the was moving at the mouth. And this is quite like what the earlier said about the one.
Kwesi, unfortunately, we have to end the interview here. It's a real struggle listening to you. We'll touch base with you later for some updates. But still in the health sector, the lack of qualified pharmacies to partner the National Health Insurance Authority is a major challenge in the Upper East region. Upper East Regional Director of the NHIA, Sebastian Alakpulinsa, says currently there are only 2 pharmaceutical shops in the entire region qualified to issue drugs to NHIA clients. The number, he says, is woefully inadequate for the delivery of quality healthcare services. And he made the revelation while briefing the new Upper East Regional Minister on the state of the National Health Insurance Scheme in the region. Correspondent Albert Sori has more.
The meeting was attended by all district and municipal managers of the National Health Insurance Authority in the Upper East region. It afforded officials of the NHIA the opportunity to officially meet the new Upper East Regional Minister, Roxanne Bukari, for the first time and bring him up to speed on the state of affairs at the NHIA office in the region. Sebastian Alakpulinsa is the Upper East Regional Director of the NHIA.
Health centers are 69. Clinics 4, maternity homes 33, cheap compounds we have 121, laboratory and diagnostic services 9, pharmacy shops 2 and chemical shops 2. That is our main challenge area, pharmacies, shops and then the chemical shops. We are not getting that number to come on board. And in healthcare, at any point in time, we admit that the hospital cannot have all the drugs to provide at a time. As we see this whole region, we have only 2 pharmacy shops. I think we still have to make more efforts to ensure that we bring more or encourage and motivate more to come on board.
He mentioned some logistical and accommodation constraints facing various offices of the NHIA in the region.
We always encourage our managers to work closer with the district assemblies and our other partners like Ghana Health Service. More especially, we have the assembly as a pivot of development. And we think that when we partner properly with the district assembly, they may be able to help us with office accommodations. This is happening across the country. Assemblies are helping NHIS to have district offices.
Upper East Regional Minister Roxanne Bukari, on his part, reiterated government's commitment to improving the National Health Insurance Scheme. He advised the NHI managers to work for the benefits of their clients and not necessarily to satisfy their bosses.
The procedure of claims or what and what, I think you have to decentralize certain things. That's my belief. We should not be an appendage to any region or this, so that I will send out one person to Tamale and be vetting or what and what. That is not so. Everything should be done in the Upper East region so that people will see, feel it, and live in it. So we have to make sure that everything is centralized and the people will see that. I pray that you will be a very strong team behind me and behind the Regional Coordinating Council, and we serve our people well. Don't be lazy. Do not also discriminate. Leave above colorization of the issue, because it won't serve a purpose. If you were watching colors, you have to drop that color.
From the Upper East, let's head to the Upper West region. Barring any last-minute hitches, the new Upper West Regional Hospital project is expected to be completed by the end of this year. The $61 million project is currently 75% complete construction-wise. The initial completion deadline, March 2017, was missed due to some challenges. This came to light during a tour of the facility by the Upper West Regional Minister, Suleimana Al-Hassan. Rafiq Salam reports from WA.
The 160 hospital bed capacity project was scheduled to have been completed in March 2017, but owing to some challenges, construction works delayed. The sole curtain for the commencement of the project began in 2010. It lies on a 131,000 square meter land and was acquired in 2008. The facility has an administrative block pharmacy unit, outpatient department, inpatient unit, physiotherapy apartment, and laboratory section. Other apartments are blood bank unit, surgical section, burn division, emergency care unit, delivery section, and maternity unit. The service area also has maintenance unit, stores, power station, medical waste unit, laundry and kitchen component, mortuary, water plant, sewage plant, and a mini market section, among others. Upper West Regional Minister Suleiman Al-Hassan went on a tour to the project site to acquaint himself with progress of work. He was conducted around the facility by resident engineer of the project, Abu Ahmed Shama. Engineer Abu Shama told the minister that they were delivering quality work and working according to plan and time frame to achieve results. He said all equipment needed to complete the project are already on site and work on all the project units are progressing.
The progress of our hospital is 80%, and we are working very, very fast. All requirements is already on site, and we are working very fast and respect the international standards for quality and everything to finally to deliver to the government, Ghana government, a very good hospitals according to international standards.
Upper West Regional Minister Suleiman Al-Hassan was impressed with work done so far to enable the people reap its benefits.
The quality is also satisfactory. What we may have to urge is that we wish they can quicken the pace a bit. Instead of giving it to us, handing it over to us by the end of the year, we will appreciate if you can complete it within 2-3 months. So far, we have seen that your work rate is fine. Then we are religious. So we appeal to you, if you can put a mosque and a church inside the facility, we will appreciate it. If it's not within your plans, kindly consider that. And even if it will mean you have to vary your estimates for us to cater for that, we will appreciate it.
The project, when complete, will serve as the last referral health facility in the Upper West region. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam.
Let's stay a while on the health sector. The existing operational maternity block at the Komfo Teaching Hospital is to undergo expansion as an interim measure to reduce infant and maternal deaths at the facility. The proposed 109-bed project with 2 theatres and a hostel for mothers is spearheaded by the Multimedia Group, Architectural Engineering Services and the beneficiary institution. Government has promised to complete the hospital's abandoned maternity block project. It follows Joy News' Seth Kwame Boateng's revelation in a special report, Next to Die, that tells the story of how an average of 4 babies die each day. Ohiming Terry reports from Kumasi.
Officials of the 3 partner organizations reached an agreement at a meeting to work on 2 wings of the project to be completed between 6 and 12 months. AUSL architect Kwame Opoku gives details of the proposed project.
It's an existing maternity block that's being used, that we are creating more space. We are putting additional floors on top of the short ones and connecting it to the existing ones to create more space whilst we wait for the main one. It comes with 2 theaters. The theaters come with their own restrooms for the nurses and doctors. It comes with a recovery ward and a mother's hostel. That takes about 20 beds for these mothers.
The total cost of the project is estimated at 8.1 million Ghana cedis, but the 2 wings will require 4.7 million cedis to complete. Despite the difficulties in raising funds, the Multimedia Group is prepared to lead fundraising campaigns. James Agla is General Manager at the Kumasi Business Unit.
So in order to ease the problem and ease the congestion in the MBU, we as Multimedia have decided to take it upon ourselves to work together with the hospital to come up with a temporal solution. And so what we did today is to agree on an extension of some wings of an existing block in the MBU area, which should be completed as an interim stopgap measure.
Officials at the Komfo Teaching Hospital have lauded the initiative, as echoed by Director of Administration, George Tete.
I think it's going to be a great relief to the hospital, because we have been talking about congestion all over these years. And I would believe that be it the short-term measure or the long-term measure through the completion of the 44-year-old maternity block, when this is completed, we'll have enough space, and then the congestion which we are experiencing now at the old block will be a thing of the past. So we hope that the stand that Multimedia has taken to solicit for help and then canvass for or campaigns so that this thing is seen that to its fullest completion is going to ease the congestion that we are experiencing now.
You're watching Joy News today with me, Benis Abu Bedu. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, they're children and vulnerable, even more vulnerable when you consider the fact that they are mentally challenged. Many of them have been abandoned by the parents who offered wrong home addresses. More of this when I come back. Thanks for staying here. Now, some passengers on board commercial vehicles in Accra are not taking it kindly with the new increment in transport fares. The new fares, which were announced early this week, took effect this morning, attracting lots of displeasure from patrons of public transport. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba was out and about town this morning and reports a difference of between 10 and 50 Ghana pesos has been seen in the 15% fare increment, depending on the distance.
Much talked about increase in transportation fares takes effect from today. What is happening here at the Circle Terminal is much akin to the cash and carry system. Drivers and mates are taking monies before commuters get on board. It feels hot here in this Trotro. It is some few hours after the increment in transport fares by 15% took effect.
Oh, actually, I'm not comfortable with, but it's like I don't have nothing to say because it has already been increased. So if I voice out, I don't know whether they are going to take it serious or I don't know. But I think the government needs to help us because he promised to take the role of the citizen into consideration. But now, what is going on? It looks as if it's like he's not helping us. So we want to tell the government he has the power to, tell the DPL to do something about it. Exactly.
Well, somebody would say that for you particular, if you have to do a round trip, that it means you're paying an additional 40 pesos, right? In 20 pesos out, 20 pesos making 40 pesos. For those going on long distance, that's like 1 cedi from Circle to Kaswa. That's like 1 cedi for a round trip. 40 pesos. Somebody would say it's really insignificant.
Yeah, I really understand that, but it's like if you deduct that 40 pesos from maybe let's say one cedi, it's like the rest is coins. Like you can't do anything with that. So whenever you have maybe 10 cedis and you change, and at the end of the day they will give you a coins, and it's like the money is finished. So I think it's not good.
Let me find out from Gerald. He's a student of Accra Academy. Gerald, now you're paying 20 pesos additional money. Would that have any toll on your, on your finances?
No.
Are you really concerned about what is happening around you?
Yeah, but I'm not surprised because in the Bible it said that things will rather go worse. So I think human government cannot solve all our problems.
So you think the government cannot solve all our problems?
Yes, that's what I think.
It's too much. Because if it's 15%, it shouldn't be 50 pesos. If it's 15%, it shouldn't be 50 pesos. It should be, I think, 3 pesos and something. But the drivers are taking 50 pesos. If it's 50 pesos, it's too much.
How much were you paying previously?
It was 3 cities, 20 pesos. And now it's 3 cities, 70 pesos. It means the increment is 50 pesos. And if it's so, it seems it's too much.
So, tell me, do you think it would have any impact, any toll? Would it take any toll on your finances?
Of course, yes, because I'm spending maybe 10 cities, 10 cities, 50 pesos in and out. Now I'm going to take maybe 15 cities because I take 3 cars to my house. See now, that's the problem. So, and it seems from the drivers actually, because for me, if it's 15%, it's not 50 pesos. Calculate yourself and see. If it's 15%, it means it's not 50 pesos. But they are taking 50 pesos.
Mark Salakbak, they're interacting with some commuters and people who patronize public transport. Away from that, they are children and vulnerable, even more vulnerable when you consider the fact that they are mentally challenged. Many of them have been abandoned by their parents who offered wrong home addresses. This is the story of the inmates at the Castle Road Special School inside the Accra Psychiatric Hospital. With little funding to the facility, officials are now struggling to give the best care to the children. My colleague Forgive Amedeka was given exclusive access to the school and has come through with the following report.
Stephanie is an inmate suffering from severe mental retardation and speech impediment. She was admitted to the ward in 2011. Ajwa, as we got there, had been raining insults on everyone. When I inquired, I was told she has a condition called organic psychosis and has been an inmate since 2014. Most of these children were brought here by their biological parents who offered hospital authorities fake addresses. Others, who also happened to be abandoned, were brought by kind-hearted individuals who picked them from the streets. The Castle Road Special School is Ghana's first special school established in 1986. As we speak, the school is woefully and inadequately resourced and can barely offer the children the needed care. Mr. Gaduto was posted here as a special educator of the school. Till date, he remains the headmaster.
We have 6 subject areas that we take them through. The subject areas are academic skills. Now, under the academic skills, we have 3 levels. You have the writing, language development, then functional arithmetic. Then we also have communication skills. Under the communication skills, we have verbal and non-verbal. Then we have reproductive health and sexuality. Thus, we teach them how to take good care of themselves, how to relate with the opposite sex, and how to take care of themselves, even especially the ladies when they are in their menses. Then we also have motor skills. Under the motor skills, we have 2 categories. You have the fine motor, then you have the gross motor. This is where they use these facilities or the body in terms of artwork, sports, and other things. Then you have pre-vocational skills. This is to predispose them into vocational skills areas.
On a regular day, we use about not less than 4 diapers, because each and every time a child defecates, we have to change them. Then we have about 15 kids who are in diapers. So based on calculations, we use roughly almost a week. We are using about 6 to 7 boxes of diapers.
And one box is costing 135 Ghana cedis or more. So if you have 1 week, we are spending over 800 Ghana cedis. Therefore, a whole period of, let's say, 15 weeks in a term, we are spending over 13,000 Ghana cedis on pampers alone or diapers. So you can see the cost. So that's why we are also trying as an institution to help give them training in that aspect. Most of the students we have here, I may say 99% of them, we can't trace their parents again. People brought them to the hospital, gave false addresses or gave false telephone numbers. So up to now, we couldn't trace them. Some of them are okay to go home, but where do we send them?
Really touching story there. The full feature is on subsequent bulletins. Now, daughter of Queen Elizabeth was guest of God's Heritage Academy in Kumasi, one of 760 micro schools supported by the United Kingdom to the tune of over 27 million Ghana cedis. Princess Anne's inspection tour of the project, which is run by Sinapia, by a local non-bank institution with support from Opportunity International UK, is part of a three-day visit to Ghana, which ended yesterday. The initiative is meant to help over 300,000 poor children gain access to education under the private school expansion program. The Princess Royal also inspected a UK-funded program for transforming teaching and learning at Wesley College of Education, also in Kumasi. Love FM's Erastus Asari Donko reports.
The Princess Royal was received at the airport by the Achampem Hene or Heneba Adusei Puku on behalf of Otumfuo. Also at the airport was the regional minister Simon Osei Mensah and his deputy Elizabeth Ajiman, accompanied by the mayor of Kumasi and some local assembly heads. A Durbar of chiefs was held in her honor at the Menchia Palace, with the Asante Hene sitting in state. This visit to Ghana celebrates the unique friendship between the UK and Ghana as it marks its 60th anniversary of independence. The British High Commissioner, John Benjamin, expressed the Princess Royal's appreciation of the honor done her.
This is Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal's third visit to Ghana and follows visits by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and most recently the Earl of Wessex. Her Royal Highness fondly remembers her first visit to your royal house and is delighted to be able to return today. Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal has enjoyed a wide-ranging program in Accra over the past 24 hours, including a meeting with His Excellency, the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, and today, in Kumasi, she will celebrate the broad range of people-to-people links between the UK and Ghana, seeing firsthand Opportunity International's support for the God's Heritage Academy and voluntary service overseas support at the Wesley College of Education. As Ghana marks its 60th anniversary with themes of reflection, celebration, challenge and togetherness, we can also celebrate how our friendship has grown and matured over the past 60 years, and central to that have been the strong links between the United Kingdom and Kumasi.
The Asante Hene, in his remarks, spoke highly of Princess Anne and her contribution to the developmental agenda of Ghana.
Against a background of a Verizon hatred, our relations provide a single example that it is possible to traverse the choppy waters of history and land in an embrace of peace, friendship, and mutual respect. As we join together in celebration of our friendship, we are demonstrating that it is possible to replace the drums of war with the drums of mirth, of joy. Your visit to Ghana attests to your commitment to the development of women and the girl child, which are fundamental to the development of any country. And for this, we are grateful for Opportunity International support for God's Heritage Academy and voluntary service overseas support at the Wesley College of Education.
Princess Anne ended her two-day visit to the country yesterday.